and welcome everybody to the very first installment of the 2016 Markers and Monsters Drawlloween Spooktacular. Yes, every day in October, 31 days, I'm doing a brand new drawing, and these are all based off of themes put out by the good folks of Drawlloween. Links to them in the description, and so definitely check them out. But basically, so I just found out about this year, but every year they put out a little calendar that gives you a theme for every day in October, and then you're challenged to make a drawing. So this was something I kind of wanted to do anyway, but these folks took the guesswork out of it and put out the calendar. So I figured, I like the themes they got, so figured I'd go with that. Now this is day one, so happy October, everybody! It's going to be a great month. Our day one theme is Back from the Dead, and for this I decided to go with a little bit of a horror movie reference here. If you can't tell yet already, I am drawing Bud the Zombie from George Romero's third Living Dead film. That's Day of the Dead. This is the third in George Romero's zombie trilogy, which started with Night of the Living Dead way back in 1968, then went to Dawn of the Dead, which was, I believe, 78, and then Day of the Dead is the final in the trilogy. This is a great flick. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's worth a watch. This is a cool one because in the other zombie movies, the zombie apocalypse is kind of happening. This movie starts out when the zombies have won. The apocalypse is over, as it were, and we follow a group of survivors who's holed up in an underground, military facility. And there's only a handful of them. There's some scientists and some military guys. And so they're out searching for survivors every day, and they're not finding anything, and their resources are dwindling a bit. And you've got these military guys who are led by Captain Rhodes, who is terrible. He's the bad guy of the piece. And you've got scientists too that are trying to discover a cure for the zombie plague. Or with Bud here, they've kidnapped this zombie and penned him up, and they're trying to see if he can remember his humanity or whatever. And in one of the scenes when they show Rhodes, the military commander, what Bud can do, Bud, who's chained up, he salutes him, and they postulate that maybe Bud was at one point in his life a soldier, and he recognizes other military and rank and stuff. So I decided to do Bud doing from the end of the movie his little salute there. I won't give any spoilers because if you haven't seen it, like I said, great flick, check it out. But at the end of the movie, he gives a salute that is very cool, and so I decided to do him in front of an American flag, real kind of patriotic and just kind of goofy. I don't know what possessed me to do this, but there you go, I'm doing it. So kind of just took the still from the movie here and just decided to freehand draw it up, color it in. Now Bud, he's wearing his jeans jacket and his plaid shirt that's all bloody. The zombies in these movies kind of have this blue-green pallor to them, and it's actually really fun to draw that way on the skin. Now I'm starting to color in the flag here with my nice light mahogany, which I realize very soon is out of ink, which always sucks. But luckily, let's go with another color and just try to make it better. Yeah, I love the Copics because of their refillability. I've mentioned that before, that you can refill them real nice, but it kind of sucks when you don't have the refill. But luckily I had some other reds there. That Prismacolor red is years old at this point, but it still has such a beautiful color. So now I'm going to get started here doing up these stars. This was, I want to say fun, but actually it was a real pain in the butt to do. Still, I think the piece turned out really nice at the end, but yeah, trying to kind of keep the stars white and just kind of marker around each and every star and fill it in and make it look good was a real pain. Not something I would choose to do again. The other thing that was interesting when doing this drawing is that, I thought I knew what the American flag looked like until I actually had to go and draw it, and then, you start to realize, oh, well, at what stripe on the American flag does that blue section there end, and how are the stars aligned, because they're not a perfect grid, they're kind of offset. So it's the details like that that I didn't just know off the top of my head, and so that was interesting. Something I like about doing the art is you learn something like that, and now I know the blue breaks on a red stripe, and it's one of those things too where I probably could have just done it, and I had a 50% chance if the blue ended on red or white, and for a lot of people they might not have even noticed, but I wanted to have it as accurate as I could for the most part. So you gotta just look up an image. It takes 2 seconds. Go to Google, type in American flag, boom, there you go, and there's no excuse not to have it done that way. So inking was fun on this guy too. He's got a lot of shadows, and his face is mostly in shadow. His eyes there are barely seen, so just kind of getting that done was a lot of fun, and just kind of hatching in there, doing some little lines, stuff like that. Now that white section around his neck and dripping down, that's the chain that he was chained up by. So that's kind of hanging there. I decided to leave that white and just kind of add in the chain look to it later. That was going to be a lot easier than detailing each and every one of these little links. And with 31 drawings this month, these things had to get done pretty quick. So they're not. I'd say they're up to my usual standards, but for a lot of these, it's just get them done. Got to keep rolling, got to keep moving. There's a lot of drawings this month and a lot of fun stuff to get to. He's kind of got blood there on his plaid shirt, and he's got his little 45 down there in hand. So yeah, he was a lot of fun. Now another thing about these videos I have to mention is that they're going to be sped up just a little more than normal. Normally I like my Markers and Monsters videos to be, like 10 to 12 minutes long, and for these guys, if I can keep them under 10 minutes, that's great. So don't expect these to be too long, because there is a lot of recording to do. Don't get me wrong, I'm having a blast doing it, but still, for my own sanity, just got to keep it a little shorter. Alright, so let's just ink out here the little flag things, keep them going good, and I definitely touch this up a little bit after I'm done with them. Let's look at the scan. Awesome. Alright guys, that's it for day one. Tune in tomorrow when there'll be a new theme. What will it be? I don't know. You'll have to tune in and find out. Thanks again, everybody. Check out all my social media stuff, which is up now. Check out the good folks at Drawlloween, and see you tomorrow.